Okay. I say, like Ondo State, like Rivers State, in terms of political crisis, now we await how political wildfire in the rivers will be put out. In the face of this, the president of the Ijaw National Congress, that's Professor Benjamin Okaba, has urged President Bola Tinubu to call the Minister of the FCT, that's Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, to order due to the political battle between him and Governor Siminalayi Fubara. Professor Okaba said, a slap on Governor Fubara is a slap on the entire Ijaw Nation, and one that if the situation continues, they can no longer guarantee the safety of oil installations in Ijaw land. Jile, I don't like this. I don't like this. Threatening our oil installation because of Governor Siminalayi Fubara and threatening to ruin the entire economic prosperity, because 70% of what we are looking up to in terms of our earnings is, you know, in the South. So if you're saying because of the political crisis between Fubara and Nyesom Wike that you start going after our own installation, it is not fair.
No, it's not. But if you know these gladiators on the South, you will expect that even if they don't say it, they will do it. We've been in that situation before, and that is why some of us believe that a political solution is the best way to solve this problem. The matter has not been properly managed. We advised them. Both Wike and Fubara didn't take our advice. See where they are today. No, neither of them can thump his chest and say, look, the way this thing is going, it will end in my favor. None of them can say that. And the worst thing that the governor can do, or the people around him can do, is to ethnicize this matter. It is possible for the governor to own this fight and let the people of Rivers know that, look, I'm on your side. I'm doing all of this in the best interest of the Rivers people. But if they just try to make it look like this is their battle, then they are going to isolate even some of the people who have sympathy for the governor on this. We really don't want this to become an ethnic fight, because it's not. It's just a matter of interest, the interest of the godfather, the interest of the godson. So it's not really an ethnic conflict. Some of the people fiercely loyal to Wike are not Ijaws. Some of the people supporting the governor on this matter, they are not even from the South. So it's dangerous to ethnicize this conflict. It's dangerous. What that prof said makes absolutely no sense, even though I know that it is well in their locker to do this kind of thing, because they did it in the past, you know, and they started disrupting our oil exports. They were attacking the oil terminals, export terminals, and at a point, it brought us down to like 500,000 barrels a day before they reached out to them and they stopped those attacks. So I believe that the president still has a part to play in resolving this matter. As I've said to Wike, he's not the first governor to be in, former governor to be in this kind of situation. And when you listen to some of the videos being released now, Wike actually made a promise never to get involved in the running of the state once he's out of office. He was saying that, look, after 8 years, that he will not get involved. So what is now the source of the quarrel? I know it can be painful. You help someone to get to office and he didn't even wait for 6 months before fighting you. I know, but once it starts happening, it has happened. You know, maybe he felt that the weakest of the people that he had to pick for the job was Siminalayi Fubara, because he told you people when you interviewed that if he had chosen some other person that would have been worse. But it's looking like he even...
The young man was just playing along.
Yes, he was playing along like a fool. But you will see, even looking at him, you know that his heart is already hardened. He has made up. Anyone who can look at that assembly complex, only a small part of it was affected by fire, and he didn't see anything wrong in demolishing the whole thing. You have to fear that kind of person. He has already made up his mind to fight his boss, and Wike must know that. And in this kind of fight, you cannot say with certainty that you are going to win. In fact, the Ijaws have, I think, like 9 local governments. They control like 9 local governments in Rivers State. If they start getting violent, even some of Wike's people may find it difficult to enter the state. That's not what we want to see. We want to see peace, because when these gladiators fight, usually they don't pay with their lives. It's innocent people pay with their lives. That's my worry with politicians, because at the end of the day, it's just the ordinary people that they will be using. We now have a situation in which Fubara is using four lawmakers in the House of Assembly. He's doing exactly what the man in... it's ridiculous for 4 persons to pass a budget. He's doing what the man in Ondo did and got away with it.
This is getting so interesting.
Yeah, it's getting interesting. But if you listen to Professor Okaba said, it was just taking a lead from what Asari Dokubo said earlier. It was Asari that started it. You saw the video he made, where he came out to say that the president should not allow, that the president had been very unfair to the Ijaws, and he shouldn't add more salt to their wounds by what is happening, and that he should call Wike to order. So you can see the trajectory. And I think it's a deliberate attempt by politicians to ethnicize this conflict. Because in any conflict, once you bring ethnicity in Nigeria, ethnicity and religion, then you are able to empower certain individuals. They start looking at issues from that angle. And those are the issues that most Nigerian politicians have learned, and they try as much as possible to use in any fight, quote and unquote. And I totally agree with you. The fact that I had thought that former Governor Wike would have been more tact. He's a seasoned politician, I want to believe. And there are much more easier way and better way of handling issues. It's not everything you do, blah, 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 blah. There's a time you stoop, you conquer.
I can't win everything.
I cannot win everything. Let me give you a classical example. What is happening in Rivers now happened in Akwa Ibom State. You've forgotten what happened between Godswill Akpabio and Emmanuel. Udom Emmanuel. Godswill Akpabio left PDP and was moved to APC. I was trying as much as possible to probably drag Udom Emmanuel as well. But Emmanuel want to be a man of his own. Udom Emmanuel wasn't a politician. I put Udom Emmanuel in the same place with people like Fashola, because Udom Emmanuel had never been in politics. Yes. He was a banker. He was the managing director of he was an executive director in one of the banks.
Yeah, Zenith
Bank. He was when he Godswill Akpabio brought him, I think, to be the chief of staff for SSG, one of those. And along the line, he had this after his 80s. He said, "This is the person I trust," and that is the difference between human and God. That is what most politicians don't know. You think you know it all. It is only God that knows the heart of man.
Yes. And Shakespeare said
and his new pastor now is now so munchy with Godswill Akpabio.
Read the man's intention.
It is only what you are seeing in the physical, it's just the physical and the face of the person you are talking to. You don't know what is in the mind of the person.
You can't.
You have seen time and time again. Look at what happened in Edo State. Who will ever believe that an Obaseki, who was also not a politician, that was picked by Adams Oshomole to come and be part of the economic team of it, will now become a man of his own. What makes someone a governor? A governor is not a councillor. He's not a local government chairman. The enormous power that a governor has is just to.
Too tempting.
In fact, after the
people will come around you and tell you, look, forget it.
And immediately,
not do anything.
Exactly. They will tell you, do you know that you have this
and you know
power?
This person has too many enemies.
That is a fact.
He has literally fought everybody. He fought, what's his name? Former chairman of
PDP. Yes. Secondus.
You know Secondus is an Ijaw man.
Yes.
He's an Ijaw man.
Yes.
He fought him.
He fought Amechi.
No, I'm even talking about people in the same party. You know?
You see?
So those guys can easily gang up with the governor. Let me add, Fubara was originally Amechi's boy. Yeah. Okay. Because he was director of finance in the government house when Amechi was governor. You know, all of them were part of the same family. They know each other very well. They were part of the same family. He knows his governor. He knows that, having worked with him as accountant general, you know, there was not even the EFCC were looking for him because they felt once they got him that go again. So he knows that Wike is someone that once you try to offend him in a way, you will become. You will lose a hand, and then in such a situation, you are prone to mistakes.
You make a lot of mistakes. You are
prone to mistakes.
You make a lot of mistakes.
If I had my way, like this defection of those 27 guys, we won't defect now. We won't defect. It's too early. We won't defect. The guy we will play in a way that he will not know what is coming. Why the defection? All they were thinking, okay, with that defection, he will be scared. But you have already played into his hands. By not defecting, you can, by the time you grab him, you will not know you are already close to him. Politicians just behave rashly. There's no need for that defection. You can actually be in the same party with him and still achieve your aim. So, but they've gone now, they defected, the man saw, the danger is coming. He demolished this. But although demolishing that place does not stop him from being impeached. Because they can sit within the state capital, they can sit anywhere. They are deceiving themselves to think that it has to be inside the chambers.
It has become a political. It has become a kind of litigation now, and left with all sorts of intervention. But what I wanted to say is that even those that are against Fubara, have you seen any list of what they said Fubara has done that warrants impeachment? Have anyone seen? Yes, now because we talk about impeachable offenses. That is what we are saying. The same thing. So we are saying the same thing. So
once they don't like
section
183,
everything can.
If they don't like you, they will say they want to.
Anything can be misconducted.
They didn't impeach Barabe Musa at that time. His only problem was that he was too stubborn.
The fact remains that,
and he would not beg.
Back to this.
They impeached him.
The fact is that both Wike and Fubara should know that if this thing fails, it's going to affect a lot of things. And our economy that is on its knee already, we are going to go down the drain. So we need to be very. That is what the president. Yes, we've said, and what the situation we find ourselves now. Every little thing happening in a state now, we call president. Everything that happens now, we call the president.
Where there is peace, are they calling him? It is where something is above the powers of the leaders in that state. There's nothing wrong in calling him. Obasanjo too was doing that now. He will call the warning everyone, he will give them his instruction. At least now his intervention has worked in Ondo State. I still believe that the president can solve this problem. The APC has come out to say the president's intervention didn't work. Wike has to be spoken to.
Yeah,
I know that he feels bad, but I've said before that, look, it's not everybody that you do good to that will show gratitude. Some people build houses in the sky for them, they will be ungrateful. We see that even where we work, we see people that you try to help, but what you will hear that they are doing against you, you'll be surprised.
But I've also asked whether Wike also whether he's making unnecessary demand. That is also another.
Let's not go into that.
That is what I'm saying.
SGF. Let's not go into that. Personal issue.
Yeah.
SGF and Father Alia, they fell apart within 1 week.
In Benue.
It's just that it's not being reported.
Yeah.
Maybe because the SGF is not an abrasive character. So whatever happens to him, he takes it on the chin. But he can't be happy. He brought him from nowhere. He was not a politician, he brought him. He made the primaries such that the man will be able to benefit from it. If they had done, what was it called? This one by delegates. There's no way Father Alia will have won now. There's no way. You know, but today, even their supporters are fighting one another. But it's not being reported, but that's already happening. Yeah. There are others.
Some people are even saying Father Alia is on his way to the PDP now.
You can imagine. Why? Are you also aware that
he will not leave the PDP?
Are you aware that they have released a song in the rivers? I'm sure you must. BKO that is very good at music. Have you heard? Make I do my.
That's why we. You see,
he has set up his own band. He has a band now.
He has won many battles, but that does not make many should think that he can win every battle.
So this one is different from us.
Yes, so
you have won many battles, but it doesn't mean
like this particular one.
Can win every battle.
This might be
when it becomes a governor. Those resources, people will keep coming. You say, no, don't do this, don't do that, don't do this. And as I said earlier, originally, that person was even an Amechi boy. But over the years, he moved closer to you. Today, he will be happy to go back to the worst enemies of Wike.
His former boss.
So Wike has to use wisdom to handle this matter. If your own son turns against you, what do you do? We've seen it happen. No. It's the nature of politics. What of Senator Danjuma Goje? He installed 2 governors on the bounce. The 2 of them worked, they fought against him. The current governor fought against him.
All right. Sent him out of town.
He didn't allow him to enter.
Yes, I said they sent him out of town.
Thank you for your contribution today.
You very much
on Journalist Sangat Sunday. The master himself, Babajide Kolade Otitoji. Thank you for another wonderful production.
Thanks.
And that's our offering today. Join us tomorrow for the regular episode of Journalist Vanguard by 5 p.m. You can watch the rebroadcast of this episode tonight at 11:30 p.m. We're on YouTube, youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I'm Ayodele Uzubakun. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.